Hey there friends, it's Kate and welcome back to my channel, Golden State Educate. So in today's video, I know I usually do week in my life and everyone seems to really be liking the week in my life, which is super fun. But this week it's a short week. We had Labor Day on Monday and then we also just have like a bunch of testing this week. So our schedule is kind of all over the place and not as juicy as it usually is. So, and we also still have STEAM on Tuesday and we still have STEAM on Friday. So there's like whole chunks of the day where we're either testing or they're in STEAM and I'm not seeing them. So I felt like doing a week in my life this week was just kind of pointless because we're doing stuff, but it's not as like fun as we usually do. So I don't know if that'd be really fun for you guys to watch. So I decided to just do a day in my life. It is Thursday, so we're almost to the weekend again. I love 3-day weekends. You know how it is as a teacher, like after a 3-day weekend, Tuesday is pretty much just a wash because they're all over the place. Like they can't focus. Like Tuesday was just ridiculous. Like I don't know what happened on Tuesday, but it was crazy. And then we had Wednesday, which is our asynchronous learning day. So yeah, that's also why I didn't film the whole week because like it is what it is. So it's Thursday. I have them all day today. We are still doing some testing, but I do have like a nice little schedule for them. And then we're also trying to start groups. I was going to try to do small group reading on Tuesday, but like I said, it was just a mess. They were not ready. We were all over the place. We were trying to do testing. So today I'm kind of going to introduce it and walk through it like in smaller groups, just 2 groups instead of like 3 or 4. So we're just doing 2 groups, 2 activities in each of those groups, and they're only going to be like 15 minutes each. So like a nice like intro to groups, and then we'll see how today goes. So that way I can troubleshoot before we keep going on to next week. Okay, so I'm going to show you what we're doing today. So we have our good morning greeting, and then we're doing show and tell. So I have 6 kids go each day and bring in an item that they want to share with the class. Our calendar, our days of the week song, our weather, break, and then we're going to do the iReady testing. So that should probably take like 40 minutes. It was kind of a struggle, not gonna lie, on Tuesday, but it was their first time doing it. So hopefully today it goes a lot better. Recess. And then we're doing a shared reading together. So we're like underlining things, circling things, walking through it together, reading it together. And then I'm going to break them into groups. So I have 19 kids, so I just split the class in half, 9 and 9. And I'll just do like a green group and a blue group today. So they're not like grouped in any particular way. I just split the roster, 9 kids, split it, 9 kids. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. When they're with me, they're going to be doing like a kind of guided reading on Epic, I think. And just talking about who was in the book, what the book was about, all of that. And then the other group is going to be doing their letter N, like handwriting and packet, or not handwriting and packet, their handwriting packet and that little book. I'll show it to you when we do it. So yeah, so that should work out. I think it's going to go well. I think it's enough for each of us to do 15 minutes. And I'll just see how that goes. So I'm excited about that. And then I'll pick you guys up at lunch and show you what we're doing for the rest of the day then.
Sees a goldfish. That's what I want, he tells his mom.
I'm so pumped, you guys. I'm so excited. My idea worked. It worked. It was the first time doing it. I was so nervous that it was just going to be a hot mess express, but it worked. It worked. I'm so excited. Okay, so, oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to show you what we did. And I'm gonna kind of explain how it worked and why it worked and what I did. So basically I tried to do synchronous kindergarten distance learning small groups. And I've been thinking about this idea for a long time and how to roll it out and how to make it happen, and it worked. Like, I'm freaking out that this worked. Okay, I'm gonna show you my screen. I'm gonna show you what we did and slowly walk you through it and try to explain, you know, how this happened. We did a whole group lesson. this Making Bridges lesson from Benchmark. We looked at the words that started with M, and we looked for the words that started with B. We talked about how this is a poem, and it's a lot different from the reading that we did last time. So we just compared these two, talked about the differences. We talked about how they were different because this is poetry and this was like a nonfiction kind of read, or informational kind of read, and then poetry. So that was great. We did that all together. And then we listened to the letter N together, and this is where the breakout room started. So after we all listened to the letter N, we did 2 breakout rooms. As you can see, I have 2 screens in front of me. So I have 2 screens in front of me, and this is how we did it. So I pulled up this, I blocked their names out so you can't see them. I had a green group and I had a blue group, and it has their names listed. So I added myself as a co-host. So I have my regular district computer that I am the host of the meeting. And then I have my personal computer in which I joined the meeting and added myself as a co-host. So I split my roster in half. So I had 2 breakout rooms, 9 kids in each. And then I put my Kate number 2 on my personal computer so I could still see them and still talk to them, but the groups were separated. So the first group that was on my personal computer, in that group, they did their letter N book and their letter N handwriting. And that was perfect. That took them about 12 minutes. So they did both of these things. And I had a timer on the screen so they knew how much longer they had. And then while we were doing that, I'll show you what we did for our small groups with me, and it totally worked out. I'm so excited. So prefacing this, I got this idea from Teaching Without Frills on Instagram. She's like kindergarten genius. She's great. So I got the idea from her and then just kind of like modeled the lesson after that. So I'll show you what we did. So while the first group was working on their letter N packet, the second group was reading a book with me on Epic. So we read Pete the Cat, A Pet for Pete, which is perfect because it foreshadows what we're doing later today and foreshadows what we're doing tomorrow. So we read the book on Epic, and then I made some comprehension questions and asked like each kid. So we said, who wanted a pet? We said, what pet did Pete get? What is the pet's name? What does Pete paint? And then who wanted the painting? And then I had one kid kind of tell me like what was the story about and who was in the story. And then we talked about our favorite parts of the book. So that was perfect. The read aloud on Epic took about like 7 or 8 minutes. And then we spent the rest of the time doing these comprehension questions kind of in like a round robin. I just went around to each of the kids in the group and we talked about it and had like a discussion. So that's what we did. And then after 12 minutes, the timer went off. I had everyone join back onto my district laptop. And we talked about how it went, what we think went well, what we think didn't go so well, and then I redistributed them. So I just flipped the groups, and then we did the same thing. So all we're doing is either our letter packet and our handwriting, or you're with me. And so far, I'm really excited about how it went. It was kind of hard to make sure. I need to like rename myself because I had the exact same name on both computers. So I need to name myself like number 1 and number 2. So that way I know, because for a while, like I had the wrong one muted because I want one computer when they're doing this activity, when they're doing their letter N, I want it to be completely quiet. I'm muted, they're muted, they can't hear anything. And then the second group, I'm live lessoning, doing a live lesson with them. But honestly, it went so well. I'm so excited. I'm so pumped. This gives me like so much faith because every time I tried to explain this to people, they're like, that's not gonna work. Like that sounds ridiculous. Like that's so much management. But honestly, day 1 wasn't even bad. So if day 1 wasn't bad, that means we can do other days and it's gonna work out. So I'm pumped. I forgot to mention, we can't actually have kindergartners in their own breakout rooms. So that's why I wanted to, okay, 2 things. We can't have kindergartners in their own breakout rooms. And 2, I realized that if I don't keep them on, they aren't gonna come off. They don't know time. And sometimes they don't have parents with them to tell them how long, or the parents don't have timers at that moment. So my biggest things were, how can I keep them on? How can I put them in a breakout room and still supervise them? So the only solution I had to that was making 2 of me. pretty much. So I have 2 computers, I'm on both of them. I can see one group, it's completely silent, I'm muted, but I can still see them, they're muted, they can still see me, and I know that they're working hard. And on the screen, I share one screen and it says, you know, work on the letter N. And then I have the other group who I'm not on mute, they're not on mute, I can have a conversation with them and we're working through the rotation together. And then after the 12 minutes, we all come back from our breakout rooms and I flip them and then we just do it again. So I feel like I'm trying to explain this to the best of my ability. It's really not that confusing, but it's confusing to talk about. So basically I just make 2 of me. I have 2 groups. I can see both of them. They can both see me. There's timers on the screen. They know what they're supposed to be doing. And then we switch, then we do it again. So I'm just super excited about it. And then another thing for this is I just screenshotted these of the book on Epic and then just put the pictures into the slideshow. So that was really good. And I tried to do ones that were like not super obvious. But yeah, I think it worked out really well. After this, we have lunch right now. We'll do a mindful moment. We're gonna come back and do math. And then I have like a fun activity for the rest of the day. Hey friends, so we made it to the end of the day. It is the end of Thursday, and I think it went really well. We did a lot of stuff today. I feel like the first couple of weeks of kindergarten were like kumbaya, like we're learning our letters, we're doing this, we're doing that. Like it was very chill, and I wasn't asking too much of them. And today it's like, okay, we're doing iReady testing, we're doing small groups, we're doing math after lunch. Like we did so much stuff today, but I'm really proud of them. They're working really hard. And they're staying with it. Like no one's having complete mental breakdowns. I haven't gotten any emails from parents saying that they're unhappy with it. So I think it's working out. For the rest of the day, we did math and I had them use their counting cubes and I recorded that. So you'll see kind of what we did. We've only been working with numbers up to 5 so far, and today we started talking about numbers up to 10 and composing and decomposing numbers between 1 and 10. But it was kind of confusing because they have 20 cubes in their bag. So the concept development part was a little choppy because they're like, I have more. And I was like, yeah, but just put the other ones away. It was just kind of confusing. So we did that. We did the math book page. And then for the rest of the day, I read There's a Zoo in Room 22, which went off of Pete Wants a Pet. So that was perfect. And then the shared reading that we're doing tomorrow is also about a pet. So I was going to have them draw me a picture of what class pet they would want, but we were tired. All I wanted them to do was like sit back, relax, and listen to me read the book. And then tomorrow we'll draw the pet that we want and then write a sentence about the pet that we want. We is also our sight word. So we like the we is the sight word for this week. The we already did, and like we already did. So like we like the whatever animal would be a really good writing. So we'll do that for tomorrow. We did really good today. Like I said, I'm just so proud of them every day. I never anticipated teaching kindergarten, let alone teaching it online, but I'm so impressed with them and everything that they've been able to do. So I love them. I'm proud of them. Probably gonna send home an email right now to parents just to kind of like give them gold stars virtually, just like love your kid's working so hard. So yeah, it's going really well. Tomorrow is another day, and I will see you when I see you. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure to hit the red button down below and subscribe to my channel. Like this video if you liked it, and leave a comment down below so I can interact with you all there. I also know that this is kind of interesting, the way that I'm choosing to do small groups. So if you have any questions, let me know. I can try to answer your questions. And I think I'm gonna try to do it for math too. So if it does work out for math, I might just do a whole video about how I teach live small groups on Zoom, on distance learning. So we'll see. Let me know what you want to see from me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.